Hello again. At a time when the future of many statues of English people are at hazard in this country, with some already having been removed because they've got some connection or other with the transatlantic slave trade, no matter how tenuous, it is heartening to see that new statues are being erected to take the place of the old ones. Sir Francis Drake and Cecil Rhodes might be out of favour, but who could possibly object to a larger-than-life statue of three black immigrants, which has been unveiled at London's Waterloo Station by the Duke of Cambridge, no less? The Queen has sent her warm wishes on the occasion, talking of the profound contribution to British life made by Jamaican immigrants. The Queen presumably knows what she's talking about, but the rest of us are left scratching our heads and wondering what on earth this profound contribution consists of. It would perhaps be churlish and certainly ungenerous to draw up a list of the contributions to British life that spring unbidden to mind, these being chiefly activities involving guns and knives. I'm sure there has been a lot more to immigration from the Caribbean than that. I just can't call to mind at the moment what it might be. Prince William was even more effusive, saying that without you all, Britain would simply not be what it is today. Well, that at least is indisputably true. And those who like how Britain is today should very properly express their gratitude to Caribbean immigrants and their descendants for their part in making the country how it is now. Some people, I am one, preferred Britain how it was yesterday rather than being wildly enthusiastic about how it is today. And so we simply remain silent out of courtesy when we hear all this guff. A campaign is now gathering unstoppable momentum to mark Windrush Day next year, the 75th anniversary of the arrival of the Empire Windrush and its passengers, and to turn it into a permanent British day of commemoration each year, celebrated as Trafalgar Day was when I was young. I suppose that the question I ask myself is simply this: what positive changes have been wrought in this country by 75 years of immigration from the islands of the Caribbean? How has it improved this country? In what way is Britain better now as a result of this immigration than it was before? I feel a little foolish asking such questions because the Queen and Prince William saying what a good thing it has been, and the government joining in, saying yesterday that the statue unveiled, and by the way, which might be seen in the thumbnail to this video, creates a permanent place of reflection and inspiration and is a visible statement of our shared history and heritage. It's clear that immigration from places like Jamaica must have been a good thing, but how? It is true, of course, that in the early 1960s a lot of nurses came to this country from the Caribbean to work, but it was never envisaged that they would settle in this country permanently. The plan was that they would return home after working here for a few years. I'm sure we would have got along fine without those nurses, just as we would have managed okay had we not recruited bus drivers from Barbados. In any case, these things have not been a permanent benefit to us. If you tot up the demands on the National Health Service and schools and so on, made by those nurses and bus drivers and their children, I am very far from convinced that we would come out ahead on the deal. What the claim seems to be is that black immigrants from that part of the world have changed British society today in a beneficial way, and that I find very hard to see. What are these good changes? How have Caribbean immigrants improved society? When thinking about, say, Indians, especially Gujarati Hindus, I can see that the corner shops which opened at all hours might be an improvement on the way things were. I remember when shops closed promptly at 5, and after that one couldn't even buy a pint of milk or a packet of tea. The arrival of Indian shopkeepers from India and Africa certainly changed that situation for the better. But Jamaicans? What have they actually done for us? Music? The Notting Hill Carnival? Is that it? By the by, isn't it odd that nobody is suggesting a statue to the Indian immigrants, who actually did far more from this country than West Indians ever did? As usual, it is that one ethnic group that everybody fusses around and seems eager to placate and suck up to. I really don't know why this should be, but it always seems to be about black people.